Good afternoon, traders. It is Tuesday, December 15th, 2015, and the U.S. stock market is closed. Hey, we had a good day today, no question about it, but it was, as usual, it was just a little bit unnerving to me. And I can kind of explain this. I said yesterday I really wanted to see the Dow scream today. That would help, and it did scream today. And I did call it up, by the way. Went up 156 points and started with, you can see this first bar. It did scream. It was up. I think it was close, getting pretty close to being up 200 points right there on the first 15 minutes. So I think that qualifies for a scream. This really did help us with our exits. You know, we only had 8 positions coming into today, but every one of those positions was positive, and they just got better and better as a result of this move at the beginning. So we ended up closing out just over $20,000 in closeout trades. So any day you close out $20,000, you can't complain about that. But it oftentimes happens, you know, we get the stocks way up here, and then we start buying stuff, and it doesn't have the power to keep going after we get in. And you know, fortunately, things weren't terrible. We are ending up. We have 21 positions on. That's a lot of positions, guys. And 12 of them are positive, 9 are negative. But our net for open trade is negative $200. So, you know, there is some risk here. Have 21 positions and you really don't have any money in it. This can go against us. And unfortunately, I'm looking at this, and you see the Dow came up here and bumped its head on my red line. That's not a good sign, and kind of sold off a little at the end. So I got to call it down. You know, I don't want it to go down, but I got to call it down. We'll see what happens. I'll show you some of the individual trades. I'll show you the lousiest one first. This was really disgusting. We got into this today. This is PETX, or yeah, PETX. I'm hesitating on this because we have not taken a single trade on this stock since I put it in the portfolio. And I was even looking at it the other day, figuring I might throw it out simply because it wasn't trading. We weren't getting into anything. Well, we got into something today, and it was really bad. You can see here the darn thing pops up, and we buy it like the first hour, and then, you know, it immediately fails and fails and fails. And any of you who've been around a long time, read my manuals, you'll know I call this a crossover pattern. It's very deadly, and you know, once it crosses over, it's not going to come back, and it didn't come back, and we're holding negative, like close to $4,000 on that thing. So that was bad, and that just kind of set us up for a lot of other similar type of action. Nothing nearly as bad as this, but it's just we're getting in at the top, and then we're seeing the stocks fade all day, and that's why we don't have any positive open trade equity today. Where we really made the money was our exits, and I'll show you a couple of those. We did great in the solar sector. This is Canadian Solar. We had bought that yesterday, midday. You know, it closed positively, just about $1,000. Then it really pops up here beautifully on the open. We get out with over $3,000 out of Canadian Solar, and then of course it sells off. So we look like geniuses with this. Now, if you think that makes us look like geniuses, let me show you the biggie. This was just beautiful. This is Solar City. And we bought that again about midday. Gave us a lot of profit yesterday just on the close, but it also pops up. So we ended up taking out over $7,000 out of Solar City, and then it sold off. So this just looks like a beautiful, beautiful trade. Over $7,000 in Solar City. So can't complain about the day, but as usual, I'm a little bit grumpy about some of the things that happened. So this is Trader Bob signing off. See you tomorrow on Wednesday.